Hey guys, it's Jake with A.G. Russell Knives. Today we are talking about hunting. We do hunting knives, fixed blade, and folding knives, as well as some field sharpening. I'm joined here with Kyle. Kyle does some hunting for sure.
I do, yeah.
I have a little bit of experience, but not a whole lot, but I do know a lot about knives. But
between the two of us,
we can show you some good ones. So we have fixed blades, we have folding hunters. I know most guys usually one or the other.
Yep.
They definitely have their preference.
Yep, they definitely have their preference. I know myself personally, I'm a fixed blade guy if given the choice. Of course, in the past I've used a folding knife just because it's what I had on me, and it is what it is. But if given the choice, I'm going fixed.
Yeah, I think I'm fixed as well. It's easier to clean.
Yep, you guys in the comments just let us know what you prefer.
Yeah, which is your favorite, folding or fixed?
Yep.
I'm curious.
Yep.
I want to know.
Well, we've got these divided into some sections based on the cost. We've got kind of a budget section, which is basically anything under $50. Then we've got kind of a mid-level, which is $50 to $100. And then we've got some higher end stuff, which is basically anything over $100.
Yeah.
So we'll just jump right into it. We're going to start with the fixed blades.
Yeah.
And get rolling. Up first, we've got some of ours. These are the A.G. Russell War Eagle Blade Pocket Skinner and Hunter.
Yeah. Designed by A.G. Real thin, real lightweight. They just fold into your pocket real easy. They have a little hole in the sheath if you want a neck knife carry it.
Yep.
You can choose between black or orange, and in two different blade shapes, the Caper Skinner or the Hunter.
Yep, and these all use the 8CR13 MOV, which is really something we use quite often. It's going to hold an edge pretty well. It's going to sharpen very easily.
Yes.
So this is just a lightweight knife you can use for just about anything as far as dressing an animal goes.
Coming in at $15. $15, pretty solid.
Yep. Let's let you do that one.
All right, next we have the Buck Max 2 Guthook. We have a heavily textured, kind of rubbery handle here, so you got a lot of grip. You're not going to slip out on this. You have the finger guard here, so you're not slipping forward at all. This is a 420 buck steel. They're going to 420 HC buck steel. They're using their great heat treatment on this guy. It's coming in at $29. You got your gut hook on the top for making that initial incision down, and then just a nice kind of a drop point hollow ground blade. Not bad for 29 bucks.
If you're a guy who likes a gut hook, Buck in general has quite a few options, and this one in particular is a good budget option. Like Jay said, it's coming in under 30 bucks. So I mean, if you're looking for something on a budget to get the job done, this is one of them.
Yeah, a little insert in the sheath.
Let's see. Up next in the budget section, we've got the K-bar Skinner. Which, if you know anything about K-bar, they've been around for quite some time. The stacked leather handle on this one is something they're well known for. They do a lot of this on just about every model that they do. They do some version with the leather, the stacked leather handle. This one's just a really simple, old-fashioned knife, probably something that your grandfather or your father would have used, and comes with a nice little leather sheath here with a snap strap on it, so you can just
little insert in there. Yep. Mirror polish blade.
Yep. Just a real nice, lightweight, kind of throwback style hunter.
They're using a 1.4116 stainless steel on that one.
And then the last one in the budget section, Jake, you want to take that one?
Yeah, this is the Outdoor Edge Swingblade combo pack. For just this swing blade, just by itself, it's coming in at $50, and it will swing and have a gut hook on. So this is the Outdoor Edge gut hook. It's got that protected tip, and instead of going down, you'll actually go up and zip it up. So kind of a cool little knife.
Yep.
It's still a fixed blade. It still locks in. I mean, it doesn't fold. It doesn't ever completely fold. So
yes, it's not something you would carry in your pocket.
Right.
It is still
it's not a pocket knife.
Yeah, it's not a pocket knife, although it's not a traditional fixed blade.
Right.
We felt it fit better in the fixed blades than it did in a folding.
AUS 8 steel, so nice solid steel. You got that nice belly, hollow grind on there. Now, if you get it with the whole set, the pack, it comes with the leather sheath with the bone saw here.
Yep.
Also, you can use it to clear your line of fire. Just take out that branch, one annoying branch.
Yep. And I think with the whole set, it's at $80, so that's a little bit above this. But like Jake said, if you just get the knife itself, you're in that budget range.
Keep in mind, all these prices are as of filming. If you want to look at current pricing, check the links in the description. The website will give you current pricing.
Yep, absolutely.
So we're going to jump into the mid-range.
Yeah, we're going to go move to the mid-range. The first one we've got up is one of ours. It is the A.G. Russell Professional Hunter. This one's a real nice, straightforward knife. It's got a little bit of texture here on the handle, so you're not going to slide around if you get anything on there. Got a little bit of jimping right here on the spine there, so you can get your thumb right there and have some grip. It is utilizing a D2 steel, which is really popular right now. Bob Dozier, of course, Bob Dozier is known for the D2, and he's kind of popularized it with everyone. Production knives now are using it rather than just the handmade stuff.
He's known as the master heat treater D2, and we follow his recipe for heat treating.
Yep, absolutely. And it does come with a leather sheath. Now, being a D2 steel, you don't want to leave it and store it in the leather sheath.
No long-term storage in the leather sheath. Leather will encourage rust, and D2 is technically non-stainless.
Yes, while it is much better than a high carbon.
Yeah, it's not going to stand like 1095. 1095, you look at it crossways, it'll rust on you.
Just don't store it in the sheath, and you'll be perfectly fine.
Wipe it off, and it should be fine.
Yep. This particular knife does come in a black blade as well. Both of those are priced at $85.
$85
so you're
D2.
well under that $100 threshold for this price point. So up next, we've got a buck that I think Jake's going to take.
Yeah, this is the Buck Open Season Hunter, one of their newish lines. It's like a few years old now.
Yeah, probably.
But you can get this in a black or like a reddish brown. Got a nice heavy recurve blade here for that extra sliciness. Heavy hollow grind there. Guthook. The blade kind of curves down. You can see that full swooping curve to it. So it kind of an interesting hold here. Feels pretty good in the hand. They have a nice nylon sheath to it. They're not cheaping out of their nylon. It's a pretty, you can see pretty thick on there. It's got the plastic insert, so you're not slicing through your sheath. All clips in, and it's coming in. Let me double check here so I make sure you get you the right price. $55. And that's using the 420 Bucks steel with their nice heat treat.
Absolutely. Let's see. Up next, we've got the Browning Overtime, which is a really nice knife.
This is a surprise for us. We pulled this out. We were like, wow.
Yeah, we were pleasantly surprised by how nice this one was. And just looking at the blade, I mean, what do you think about the blade, Jake?
It's got a lot of belly. That's a slicey. That's a slicey knife.
And it is USA made D2 steel again, which is extremely popular.
Really, really great edge. D2 is going to be some of the best edge holding you'll see on this table. It is a little bit harder to sharpen because it's got that larger carbides, and you'll have to, once you lose those carbides, you'll have to bring it back till you get into the next set of larger carbides.
It does have a micarta handle here, which has got a little bit of texture to it, but as you whenever it gets wet, it's going to get even more tacky. And the one thing I was most impressed with this particular knife is this sheath
is gorgeous.
Is high end especially for the price point.
Just, $72.
Yeah, just a very, very nice leather sheath, and it just it fits in there really well.
That's on par with like a $150 knife sheath.
Yeah, it is very, very nice. Very nice sheath, and yeah, I was just really impressed with the knife itself.
I like drop pouch sheath.
Yes.
I like not messing with the button.
Absolutely.
Big fan.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so just check this one out. It is coming in at $72.
72.
So I mean, you're looking pretty good as far as the price is concerned for what you're getting here. What we got up next, Jake?
Next, we have the Buck Skinner. This is the Model 103. You might see it's very reminiscent of the Buck 119. Very, very classic knife.
Yep.
There's a reason these knives have stuck around for so long. It's because they work. They do well. They're using their Buck 420 HC steel with their really nice heat treatment. This one is in the Skinner profile with a lot of belly. That's a lot of belly.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's gonna be a great Skinner. You get the nice aluminum handle here, all mirror polished, and then it has the leather sheath with the plastic insert. Always be sure you're cleaning off the knife, but the plastic insert is nice to have. And this has the full wraparound button, which is kind of cool. Kind of holds the whole thing in, and there's no wiggle.
Yeah, you're not pulling that out. The last thing we have in the mid-price section is a Daniel Crotts design that we produced, I think 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And we've had it for a while. It's been very popular.
It's one of my favorite fixed blades.
Yes, and me personally, when I saw the handmade version of this, I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And this is basically the handmade version with a different steel. The handmade version comes with D2. This one's using the 8CR13 MOV, which we use on quite a few things. It'll hold an edge fairly well. Gonna have to sharpen it.
I have no complaints with 8CR. I use it all the time. But $70 for 8CR, or you can get the full handmade for $235.
Yeah, $235 for a black one. Basically, this with an upgraded handle and a custom, Kydex sheath and everything. What this one does come with a Kydex sheath as well.
Nice scout carry, very popular with hunters.
Snaps in very well.
So it's got that horizontal.
Yeah, got that horizontal carry on the back there. Just a really, really good knife, and I really like the, that Caper.
Oh, it's a great blade.
It's got
a nice hollow grind to it.
Yep, it's got this jimping here where you can really get a good grip on the blade there, and you can get your finger quite a ways up there on that jimping and really have some good point control. So it's just a really good knife, like we said, coming in about $70. So. Yeah,
it's fairly small, but the butt flares out a little bit at the end, and it kind of fills the hand.
Yeah, it does.
It feels secure.
Yep, it really does. It's a very, very good knife, especially for the price point.
And we do have a few left-handed sheaths. So
yes.
If you want to do the behind the back right hand draw, or if you're left-handed, you get a left-handed sheath.
Okay. Next, we're going to move into the higher end knives that we have here. What are we starting off with, Jake?
We have the A.G. Russell USA-made D2 Drop Point Hunter. Not a very original name, but
no. Sometimes straightforward.
You just call it what it is.
Yeah. Sometimes
it is what it is, and that's what we're going to call it. You have a G10 handle in green or black.
Yep.
Got a nice drop point blade with D2 steel. We're using Bob Dozier's D2 heat treatment. It has the drop pouch sheath. Big fan of the drop pouch sheath.
Yep.
I don't like messing with the buttons.
No, absolutely not. And this has a very thin profile.
Very thin.
Which is popular now.
If you're backpacking, every ounce counts. So you want this to be as small as possible, but you need it to be big enough to get the job done.
Absolutely.
So this one's got enough size to it that you can use it for basic camp use too.
Yep. Definitely kind of just a kind of do everything knife here. Obviously you can use it for skinning and that type of thing, but you could also use it around the camp and get pretty much anything done with it.
Yeah.
So it's just a really versatile knife, thin and lightweight, and USA made, which is
coming in at $125.
Yep. And then I think we're moving on to a Dozier knife next.
We've been talking about Bob Dozier for a while with all the D2. We gotta show a Dozier knife.
Yep. And this knife is made in the Springdale shop, handmade. This one's a brown bone. As you can see, it's got a real nice color to it. D2 steel. That's Bob's known for.
That's what he's known for.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty much exclusively what he used. I don't think I've seen.
He's used a few other ones for higher mirror polish finishes because D2 does not polish. It doesn't mirror polish well. You can get a satin, but that's
anything that he considers a work knife though. He's
using D2, and that's what he likes to make is work knives.
Yep.
He wants it to last your lifetime, and for the price point, they're coming in at $200 to $300. That's a solid handmade knife price.
Yep, and this one in particular is $245, and it's just a really nice knife. It's made in the same shop that the Dozier made version of the Caper is made as well. So you're talking about a really nice knife. All these come with custom Kydex sheaths. They snap in really well. Most of the time, you're going to have to really push. To get this one to come out. It's not just going to pop out for you.
They're making each sheath for each knife, so they're not like mass producing that model sheath. Each one is individually fit. Yep, and so it's a nice tight fit.
Yep, and obviously when it comes to Dozier, check out the website. Look at everything we have available. There's tons of different models. There's a lot of
different ones, different shapes, different sizes.
And if you're looking at Dozier, make sure you check out our other handmade makers who are doing hunting knives. We've got Daniel has one.
Daniel Crotts,
Bob has plenty. Keith Murr has several.
I love the Keith Murrs. I didn't bring one to show you guys because he's running a little bit behind, so I don't have a lot of stock. But if you can get your hands on a Keith Murr, solid. He does all his own leather work.
And Keith worked for Bob for a while and knows the D2 heat treat.
It's my understanding he worked with Bob.
With Bob, sorry.
Sorry, Keith.
Worked with Bob. So anyway, so if you get a chance to check out the Doziers, definitely do it. You won't regret it.
Yeah, he does great work.
Yep, and then I think we're going to move on to some Benchmades, and I'll kind of talk about those because I know Jake wants to handle the last one we've got over there. So this is the Saddle Mountain Skinner and the Hidden Canyon Hunter. We'll start with the Saddle Mountain. Both of these are going to come with a leather sheath. Different styles, though. This one's a vertical little pouch carry.
I love the coloring on their leather.
It does. It's kind of a lightweight, not real heavy, but it still has that insert in there, so you have a little bit more, to hold the knife in and kind of keep it from cutting the lighter leather. And they're using the diamond wood on here, which is just basically a stabilized wood of some kind. We're not exactly sure what the wood they're using is, but it has a good feel to it. Kind of has a micarta feel to it. And this one has jimping on 2 spots on the blade, right here and then up here for some point control.
Nice point control, yeah. Big fan of that.
Yeah, it's got that thin profile, like we said, it's real popular right now. Lightweight,
fairly big blades. So like the A.G. Russells, you can do a lot of stuff around the camp, not just skinning with it.
And both of these are using S30V, which is really high end.
The nice thing, S30V, I don't think the edge retention is quite as good as the D2, but it's like almost there. Yeah. But it has great corrosion resistance, and it also is a lot easier to sharpen than the D2.
Yep. And
so you're getting some benefits for sure.
Yeah, and this one, the Saddle Mountain comes in at 140. Really snaps into the sheath really well. I like that a lot. And then you've got this one, which is the Hidden Canyon Hunter, which is basically a little mini.
Look at that belly on there.
Yeah,
that is a lot of belly.
Yep, got a great. Got the jimping in 2 spots again.
The 2 spots.
You got that point control, just fantastic.
Even though it's a smaller knife, it feels really secure.
Well, I think it's got the little finger control right here, so you got to get in there, and it really, because of that, you can kind of get it in the whole hand like that, and so it feels bigger than it really is.
Yeah.
And this one's coming in at 125, I think, somewhere in that ballpark.
Somewhere around there. I really like the Scout Carry sheath.
Yeah, Jake's into the Scout Carry for sure.
I like the Scout Carry.
But yeah, just 2 really solid options from Benchmade that are they're in that higher end price point as far as this video is concerned. But if you're looking at handmade knives, it's going to be much lower than a handmade knife would be. So
half the price of a handmade, but you're getting fairly comparable steel.
Yeah. So just another option to look at. Jake does have a nice one to end with on this.
Here's a handmade right here. This is a Daniel Winkler Really cool little hunter here. It's got a blacked out blade, and he's got this antique wood. He's really well known for this look. This is what the Winklers look like. The black blade and the faded handle here. It's using an 80. Let me look at my sheet here. 80 CRV2. I'm not as familiar with this steel, but
no, but it is a high carbon. It is a high carbon.
Yeah, it's a high carbon, non-stainless steel.
Yeah. So check out rust free. We carry rust free. It'll the coated parts of the blade should be fine. But you want to keep an eye on the edge there. Yeah, but the edge you're going to want to treat with something. Rust free does a really good job.
Especially when you're storing it. When it's in use, you could just sharpen it; it'll be fine.
Correct. But if after you're done with it, make sure you clean it.
Yeah.
Treat
clean
it
it,
with
stick a little bit of oil on there, a little bit rust free. And it comes with a Kydex sheath. This has a padded inside, which is kind of cool. Not many Kydex ones do that.
Yeah, the only other one I can think of is a Keith Murr, the camo hunter that he has. Does have a padded Kydex sheath.
It's a camo pocket hunter, front pocket hunter, something like that. Yep. This has a vertical clip, and you can change that either side, left, right hand. And it's definitely a really cool knife. The Winklers are super popular.
Yep. All right, and I think we have we do have one little thing. This is the Benchmade Nestucca Cleaver, which is definitely unique.
I'm just going to call it a modified Ulu because that's what it is.
I mean, that is what it is. I personally have never used one.
No, I haven't either.
I've heard of people using them. Particularly, I know Alaskan
the Inuit tribe, very popular. They use them. They use them for everything.
Yeah,
seal blubber, fish.
Yeah, I've heard there's different ways to use it. It does have jimping up here, so I'm fairly certain there's a way to use it like this. And then I've heard of other people kind of setting it in the hand more like that and kind of working with the whole hand in there. But I'm not really certain. Maybe one of you guys can comment, let us know if you've used one in the past, what the method of use is. But it does come with a little leather sheath. Yeah. Just to protect the blade edge there. But just something different we wanted to throw in. It's a cool
little guy. That's a lot. That's a lot of S30V steel there.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of steel for sure.
And even with all that, it's still coming in at 136. Yeah, pretty solid. Solid.
All right.
That's gonna finish out the fixed blades. Yep. I don't know which one's your favorite.
Comment and tell us what your favorite is. Yeah. Let us know if we didn't have your favorite in the video. Tell us.
I chose a smattering. I chose some of my favorites, some of the popular ones. I'm personally partial to this Black Widow and this Browning.
Yeah, I thought for the price point, this was something that stood out to me.
It did. I agree.
The quality is really nice. And then of course, you've got the Bob Dozier is always going to be.
Yeah, the Bob Dozier's nice.
Yeah, just a favorite. Just anything Bob does is usually pretty solid. So, I think we're going to move on to the folders. We're going to start in the budget section, same as we did with the fixed blades. First up, we're going to do a little Browning speed load. And this one actually has a ceramic blade. It does come with a Guthook and a little caper blade as well. So
the speed loads are kind of taking the hunting scene by storm. A lot of very, very popular different companies. CRKT does a speed loader. I think Kershaw does a speed loader.
Yep.
And the idea is you can swap out the blade and you just never have to sharpen it because you just swap it out with another blade.
Yep. It's definitely one of those things that's kind of like rather
super lightweight rather than fix what you got. You're just kind of quick disposable.
Yeah, it's more of a disposable than it is anything else. You just basically keep the frame. It's like working with a razor.
Yeah.
When you get a little dull, you just swap it out for a new one.
Yeah, you're not gonna sharpen your little safety razor edges.
Yep.
This one's using ceramic, which is a little bit different from some of the others.
It is, but I know you were saying something about somebody using one to...
Yeah, the designer, Russ Comer, says he field dressed, let's see, 4 deer and a black bear with a single blade.
Hey.
Ceramic is well known for holding its edge way longer than steel does. It's a little on the brittle side, but It'll hold its edge.
Yeah, it does come with a little pouch here. It holds the cartridge with the other blades. And then
yeah, it's got a little caper and a Guthook.
Yep, and you just fold it up, and then you've got the little strap on the back there.
Yeah, coming in at, what was that, $32 for that one.
All right, and
here is a Outdoor Edge folding caper. How many times do you see a folding caper?
not often.
Not often.
Yeah.
I mean, usually you get like a folding hunter with a drop point, but a caper, you don't really see it. This is coming in at $22 using AUS 8. It's got that nice, super deep hollow grind here. It's a sharp little guy. It is a Lockback. It's got your pocket clip on there. It's got pretty thick liners, so it's a solid feeling. It's a solid feeling knife. There's not a lot of wiggle in there.
Yep.
I'd say for $22 in AUS 8, no complaints.
Yep. It's a good little knife for the price.
Jimping up top.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna move on to a little Remington Sportsman, just a little Lockback hunter. It's got some texturing on the blade here. Kind of got it's definitely a a plastic of some kind. Exactly what, I'm not real sure, but it does have some texturing, so it's got a decent grip to it. A little bit more substantial, especially than the caper there, but got some weight to it. It's using a 420 J2, which is going to be similar to Buck's 420, just not made in the U.S. I think.
Yeah.
This was made in China. And yeah, just a.
But $18, you're not gonna feel sad if you drop it and leave it in the forest.
Nope.
If your son needs that first time hunting knife and you're not sure if he's gonna take real good care of it, I mean, $18, you can't go wrong with that.
Yep, got a little pocket clip there, deep carry looks like.
I think it comes in a couple different sizes, but that's the one I picked. Next, you cannot talk about folding hunters and not show the Buck 110 folding hunter. This is just classic. Classic. You have the nickel silver bolsters. You have the 420 blade here, 420 stainless steel. That's what I'm talking about. Using that awesome Buck heat treatment, that Bose heat treatment. We have ebony wood. They did away with the wood for a long time because they couldn't actually source good ebony, but just recently they've found another source of ebony, and so they're putting these out. This is coming in at $45. Nice leather pouch here to go on your belt because it is a heavy knife. This is a hefty knife.
Yep.
Don't kid yourself. It's heavy, and you're
not going to want to carry that in your pocket.
You're not going to want to carry it in your pocket. You're not going to break it. It's definitely it's a solid knife, and Bucks come with their forever warranty. I don't think you'll be sorry with it. This is a lot of boys' first knife.
Yeah.
This or like the 112, which is just the smaller version of it.
The Boy Scouts love the Buck 110 and the Buck 112. Definitely something you'll see a lot. So moving on to the mid-price, we're going to start with the Buck Folding Pursuit, which with the Buck fixed blades, you saw a couple gut hooks. This one is also going to have a gut hook. It's got a real nice handle. It's got kind of a rubbery feel to it. Going to give you a good grip. Little lockback here in the back to release using the Buck 420.
Steel,
just a real nice, simple hunting knife with a gut hook. Not going to do anything spectacular, but get the job done.
Yeah.
And it's in that price range. It's priced at $65.
$65. It's got that nice nylon pouch there.
It does have a nice little pouch. Matches the knife, green and black. Just real solid, simple. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Up next, we've got a little Outdoor Edge, and Jake's going to show you the flip and zip.
Outdoor Edge. I like Outdoor Edge in that they're so innovative. They're always trying new things, and some of it doesn't work, and some of it does. And this is definitely one of the ones that do.
Yep.
You have an 8CR 13 MOV stainless steel blade here. We use 8CR on a lot of our stuff. Sharpens well, holds its edge well. For the price, it's just a great steal.
Yep.
There's going to be a lockback, and then this hollow grind blade has a lot of belly right here, so you're going to get some nice slicing action. It's kind of a slightly rubberized grip with some extra texturing here, so you're definitely not going to slip on that. It's very secure. You can get this in a couple different colors. I think it's orange, green, and maybe a black. I'd have to check on the black, but there's definitely a couple different colors. This one's called the Flip and Zip, and the zip is on the back end here, this lobster style, lobster meaning it's coming out from the back, this lobster Guthook. So this is the Guthook with the protected tip. Just like on the Swingblade, you go up instead of down the carcass there to get that initial cut in there. And it all folds up into this little nice pouch, pretty thick nylon here, so it's not gonna wear out on you.
Yep.
That's one of my big problems is when they do the cheap straps on the back, and the pouch doesn't mean anything if it doesn't hold onto the belt. And Buck and Outdoor Edge doing a pretty good job on keeping those high quality there. And this is coming in, let me double check here. $55.
$55. Up next, we've got kind of a classic here. This is one of ours. This one's also going to be priced at $55.
Yeah.
This is the A.J. Russell Lockback Folding Hunter.
A little classy.
Yep, this one's got a brown jig bone on it. It's a lockback, got a nice secure lock. You can hear it click in there. Just really nice. Two-hand open, got a little nail neck here. Help you get a grip on the blade there. Using the 8CR, just like we use on quite a few things. Just a real classic skinning knife, hunting knife. It's just really one of the classic designs. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it other than, it gets the job done. The 8CR is going to hold an edge fairly well. It's going to take an edge really well. Very easy to sharpen.
We had a lot of people saying we do a great heat treat on our 8CR.
Yep, we really pride ourselves on the quality that we put out, and this is no exception. I mean, we do
a high fit and finish. You won't see this level. It's difficult to see this level fit and finish on this kind of a knife.
Yeah, especially at the price point at $55. I mean,
there's a reason a lot of companies have moved away from the bone and the stag and the other natural materials.
It is difficult to work with, and it's difficult to get right. And we have quality control here, and we're not shy about turning stuff down that comes in the door that we don't like. And as you can see in this one, it does have a striker pin in there, so we don't have to worry about
closing the blade gently.
We don't have to worry about closing the blade gently, and you get a little bit more blade in there. I mean, that's always it's always a win.
And you can get that one in stag as well. The price is going to go up a little bit.
Yep. What do we got next, Jake?
Next, we have another little surprise for us, a really cool buck. This is a Buck 110, a Slim Pro. This has been out for a year now?
Something like that.
About a year.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. But coming in at $90. It is the slimmer version of the regular Buck 110, so they slimmed it down by a lot, like half. It's a nice, slim blade.
Yeah, it's definitely lightweight.
Very lightweight.
Especially compared to the Buck 110.
They're doing full micarta handles here, and there isn't a liner. They have the lock bar here, but there's not liners on the inside, so it's super lightweight. Full micarta handles. The blade is S30V.
Yeah.
So that's the same steel as those Benchmades.
Yeah, for under $90.
For $90, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, that is really good as far as pricing is concerned for the materials you're getting.
It's got the Bose heat treatment. It's got a nice deep pocket clip. I know a couple of people don't like the advertising of it, but it's an anvil and it's a knife. I mean, you can't really be it. I'm not upset about that at all.
No.
In fairness, our logo is the anvil too. So
yeah, we do actually have an anvil as well. So
you see on my name tag.
Yeah. So basically, while we've got this one out, we're going to go ahead and move into the higher end real quick because we do have a Buck 110 there as well. And this is the Folding Hunter Pro.
Yeah, so it's the Pro version of the regular 110.
So essentially, this is going to be The 110.
Same dimensions, same size. Different material in the bolsters, and the blade is upgraded to the S30V.
Yep.
It's coming in at $100, $99.95.
Yep.
But you still got that nice heavy bulk to it. It's a really heavy duty blade, so it'll get the job done.
If you want the classic look with the upgraded steel, this is where you're at. If you're into the little bit more modern, the slim.
Slim is solid.
It's all about the Pro there, the Slim Pro anyway. So we just wanted to kind of bring all three of these out together so you kind of get a look at what we're talking about as far as the differences between them and what you comparatively speaking, based on what you prefer, which one are you going with? And this one does come with a leather pouch as well, same as the regular Buck 110.
The Slim does not.
Yeah,
just
Slim
the
does
pocket
not.
clip.
All right, what do we got next, Jake?
Next, we're getting into some of the Benchmade folders, the Crooked Rivers.
Okay. These do come in the two sizes, full and mini, which I am a huge Benchmade fan. I just love their quality. Just really have always liked it. I love the Axis lock. Both of these feature
the Axis lock is fun.
This one has the diamond wood on the mini, and the gray there just has a gray G10, it looks like.
And you can get this in diamond wood as well, the bigger size.
Awesome. Both have orange accents, which are really cool, kind of that hunting, aesthetic.
You put it down on the ground, the sun's going down because you waited a little long, but hopefully the orange still helps you pick it out.
Yep, got that hunting aesthetic. Both have clip point blades.
Yes.
So
if you like the clip point, the Crooked River.
The clip point, that's where you need to be. But yeah, just a really nice, solid, S30V. Just living in that neighborhood, And both of these are priced at, let's see, the mini is priced at $190, and the full size is priced at $208.
$208. Yep. S30V, not quite the same edge retention as the D2.
But certainly in the same realm.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. You have to be a really big knife guy to really notice the difference.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about S30V, much better corrosion resistance, and it's gonna be easier to sharpen than the D2.
Yeah.
So yeah, not quite the same edge retention, but it makes up for it definitely in the corrosion resistance and the sharpening.
The last one we have in the high-end section is another Benchmade, and this one is the Grizzly Creek folder. This is one that I've actually used. I believe it was on a rabbit. It's just a really, really good knife to use. It's got jimping up on the top here for point control.
Up on the top,
it has it down here on the bottom if you want to put your thumb there. It's just a really versatile knife. I mean, I've used it just as an everyday carry as well, just because it's got a good weight to it. It's got a good size.
Got a little bit of recurve to the blade there.
Got a little bit of a belly there. Solid. Working with the Axis lock, same as the others. It is a little different though, because it's got a little gut hook here that you can flip out. Use that bad boy. Yeah, just great.
I like how wide it is. It's not one of those narrow gut hooks, so it's a little bit easier to sharpen.
Yep, you can definitely get a little rod in there. The one thing I will point out, though, just from experience, is that there isn't support here on this handle without the gut hook pushed in. So if you're using the gut hook, you don't want to like squeeze down right there. You'll possibly break the handle. Now, of course, Benchmade warranties everything, so you could absolutely get it repaired. But that's time without your knife and things like that. So if you can avoid it in the first place,
don't break it if you don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely. But that one's a great one. That's a drop point instead of the clip point. So if you're a drop point person, that would be.
I much prefer the drop point over the clip point. I know there's not really a huge difference, but I just think it looks better, and it always feels like it has more belly. I don't know if it actually does have more belly, but it feels like it does.
Aesthetically, it looks better to me.
I agree. So, same.
I think next we're going to go over some sharpeners that you can take out in the field with you.
Yeah.
Just so we can kind of give you guys an idea of, what you can use.
If you're getting a higher end steel, the D2 or the S30V, you're probably going to get through your game and not really need to sharpen. But some of the others, you might need to sharpen midway through, depending on how big it is. And if it's rolled in the dirt and you're cutting through like gravel, if you're going hog hunting, they're just rolling in the dirt, and there's sand in their pelts,
and depending on the animal you're working with, some of the hides are tougher than others.
Oh yeah,
it just is what it is.
So it all depends. So some of the mid quality and the lower quality, you're gonna want probably either a backup blade or a field sharpener.
Yep, absolutely.
So right here we have the Stone River gear. This is coming in at $25. You have a diamond coned rod here, so you can get that cone will work on serrations, and then it'll also work on gut hooks. And it also has a little slot right there. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but that slot will be great for sharpening fish hooks.
Good.
And many of these will have a slot for the fish hooks. Underneath this rod is the the ferro rod, and on the other side is the striker. There you go. I don't know if you caught that on camera, but there was flames. The whole thing you can turn the whole thing around and it will fold up pretty tight. And it comes in at $25. Plus you have a ton of extra paracord and paracord's always useful.
Yep.
Next we have the Outdoor Edge Edge Pro. This is going to be a nice little sharpener that folds up real tight. That's just going to fit in your back pocket, vest pocket, wherever you need it to fit. It has the coned rod with the fish hook sharpener. It has a little stabilizer platform. And it has 3 sets of pull-throughs. Pull-throughs, not typically our suggested one.
Yeah, pull-throughs, they can really do a number on knives. It's just one of those things where certain people have certain feelings about different things. Us at A.G. Russell would prefer
not, but if you're in the field,
yeah, if it's what you got, it's what you got.
Yeah, it's better than a rock.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Sure. So this is the coarse carbide. That's going to take off a lot of steel, and that's probably the main reason we don't like the pull-throughs is because carbides are so popular.
It will eat your blade. It'll eat it up. Yep.
But if your blade is rolled or chipped and you need to take a lot of steel off quickly, well, it'll eat it up. I mean, that's what it's great for.
Yeah, it will absolutely do that.
And then it has a coarse and medium ceramic. So that's really cool. With ceramics, we don't really have much of a problem with.
No.
They definitely work much better than the carbide there. They do dirty up fairly quickly, so if you just kind of coat it in steel, it's harder to clean off. You're going to need like steel wool and kind of scrub it between.
You're working with a much smaller surface area.
Yeah.
Obviously you're pulling a knife through on one very specific spot of that ceramic. So that one small area is going to get a lot of stuff on it.
So basically, it's a field sharpener. It's an emergency sharpener. It's not something you want to depend on for long-term sharpening.
Yeah, and you don't want to use this on kitchen knives or something like that.
No.
I mean, that's not what it's for.
It'll gunk up too quickly.
Yep.
But for what it is, great. I mean, it's $13. You can't go wrong with that.
Yep.
Next, we're getting into DMT. DMT is one of my favorite knife sharpening companies because they use much higher quality diamonds.
Well, that and there's a lot of options.
There's a lot of options.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they make that are similar, but just different enough to be like, oh, I like that version better.
Yes.
Or, I can carry that version easier. Which we're going to show you a few of them right now.
Yeah, this one is their survival pocket sharpener. They just came out with this year. This is a fine grit stone here, and so they use really fine monocrystalline instead of polycrystalline diamonds. So their diamonds are going to last longer than other diamonds, and that's part of the reason why they cost more because their diamonds are better. They'll last longer. For the average user, I'd say you'd probably get pretty close to a lifetime, depending on how much sharpening you're doing.
Yep. And our definition of average may be different than your definition of average.
Like we go through on, I don't know, like 5-6 years,
probably,
10 years.
Yeah.
Between 5 and 10 years. Yeah. But we're a knife shop and we do a ton of sharpening. So.
Yeah. Well, and people, we have people come in and we'll demonstrate on a block, and maybe that's. 2-3 times.
Multiple times a day.
Yeah, 2-3 times a day. You multiply that over however many.
The average user isn't sharpening 2-3 times a day.
No.
Maybe like on your hunt, and then that's like during the year.
Well, and I know every time I'm up there, I'll give my whatever I'm carrying a quick run, right?
Anyways, this is the survival one. It comes with a little diamond rod right here and a ferro rod right here. This is coming in at $15, and they have a ton of different options. You have another pocket one without the rods, snaps in real tight, comes in multiple grits, $12.
Not bad.
Yeah. They also have a wallet pocket version.
This one is my favorite because I can just throw it in my wallet. You know, I've always got my wallet on me. So, you know, I prefer the extra fine as well.
Yeah.
Just because I'm one of those people that keeps my knives sharp to begin with. So if I'm cutting open something and I'm like,
this will
it's
come
not
in multiple
quite there,
grits.
you know, yeah, this does come in multiple grits. It's got a medium, a fine, and an extra fine. And I prefer the extra fine, but it really does. It's the size of a credit card, slides right into one of your wallet pockets, and you're good to go. I mean, it's really one of my favorites. It's
$11. AG always carried one, and I'll tell you why in a little bit here.
What do we got?
We also have a bally song. No, I'm just kidding. It folds like one, but it's not really. This is a dual-sided sharpener, a little bit longer, so which is handy for the bigger blades. So if you're having one of the larger hunting knives, it's kind of handy to have a bigger sharpener versus one of the pocket ones. You can still do it, but it's almost easier to move the sharpener rather than the blade because the blade's a little bit bigger.
Yep.
So you can get a double-sided one for $35, and it's a little bit bigger.
Yep. While we're talking about sharpening, make sure you check out AG's videos on sharpening. We've got a ton of them.
We have a playlist on YouTube. Check out the playlist.
Yep.
And
he'll kind of go through, you know, the angles you want to use, different types of sharpeners, all that. Covers pretty much everything. So make sure you check those out too while we're on the subject of sharpening.
We're just going over the field ones, and these are ones you can carry with you super easy.
Yep.
Last, we have the A.G. Russell Field Sharpener, and it is a super handy little system here. So it has two rods, and they're 30 degrees apart. If you hold your knife straight up and down, see if we can get the camera to see it here, straight up and down. Well, the angles aren't quite right. I'm holding it straight up and down. You're going to start with the heel of the blade, and you're going to pull back and push down at the same time at a constant rate. And then when you hit the belly, you're going to pull back and round out with the belly there. And so that is probably my favorite way to sharpen knives. It's super easy to do. The ceramics get you a really, really fine edge, even finer than the super fine on the DMT ceramic diamonds. And it all folds up and fits into your pocket.
You fit it in your pocket, in your pack, whatever, real lightweight. Just excellent to have out in the field.
Now, the reason AG always carried one of those wallet-sized ones is after years of using this, eventually your tip will actually round out and you'll lose your tip. And so it's harder to get your tip on these ones with the holes. The holes are designed to catch the swarf, which is the excess water and steel that's coming off. But if you get the full-size diamond one where it's just complete diamond surface, you can get your tip back on there without catching the tip into one of the holes. And so that's the main reason AG always carried one of those. It's just to resurface his tip.
Gotcha.
But you only need that every, like, so many years.
Yeah. We do have a couple other things we want to just throw in real quick.
Yeah.
Just while we're on the subject of hunting and that thing. So, what we got, Jake?
So I don't have a full. We have multiple of these. I would just have one to show you though. This is the Outdoor Edge folding saw. Folding saws are super handy to have. I personally prefer a saw over an axe personally. There's definitely a personal preference.
I think it depends on the axe you have.
Yeah, it probably does. Depends on the saw you have and depends on the axe you have.
Yeah, I'm more of an axe guy, but I like a small, like we're about to pull one out here. It's much bigger than what I would normally use. The
nice thing about the folding saw is it's super convenient. You can carry this and it's not going to weigh you down. It's not going to be getting in the way. It's not going to be hitting your leg. It's not going to be tripping you up.
Yep.
It's pretty lightweight. It's really thin, and you still have a pretty solid, I don't know, what is this, 8 inches, 7 inches?
Yeah, between 6 and 8 for sure.
between 6 and 8 inches of saw blade here. So you can use this to clear your line of fire. You can take out that one annoying branch that is like right in the way. Or saw through bone to get your field dressing done. Saws, I think saws are my preferred way versus carrying an axe.
Well,
but if you're just, sitting at camp.
If you're asking me though.
Or you're asking Kyle.
This is how you want to go. This is an axe made by Gransfors Bruks out of Sweden.
Mm-hmm. Hand forged in Sweden.
Hand forged.
Absolutely gorgeous work.
Absolutely gorgeous. You want to explain the backside of this bad boy?
So this bad boy has a polished pole. Most axes in general will have a flat hammer pole, so you can use it as a hammer. Mm-hmm. But this one's a polished pole, and the purpose of that is so you can, when you've made your initial slice in your carcass, in your kill, you grab the skin, the hide, and you hammer and kind of push this between the hide and the flesh, in that it kind of peels back the hide from your game there.
Yep.
And that is a great way to help preserve the hide without accidentally nicking it with your blade and cutting into it.
Yep.
It also preserves your edge retention, so you're not going to be dulling your knife.
Yep.
And so that's a great way to...
And like I said earlier, this is probably a little bit bigger than I would normally carry as far as, if I'm going camping or whatever.
This is not I don't know, it's a little big for backpacking. Maybe you guys disagree. I think it's a little big for backpacking.
But
if you got like a hunter's camp, or like you're bringing the game back and you're going to separate the hide there at camp, you just got this sitting at camp, I think that'd be a solid option.
This is just something else we wanted to kind of show you guys while we were on the hunting theme. Mm-hmm. Anything you guys saw in this video that you want, have any questions about or whatever, just let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
If we didn't show you something that you wanted to see, let us know what your favorite hunting knife is, or, whether you're a folding or fixed blade guy.
Yeah.
We want to know that as well. So, I think that about does it. Am I right?
I think so. That wraps it up. Thanks for joining in, guys. Have a good one.